design, and I think it's a buzzword right now, especially it's a trend among architects and designers. But what I have found is a lot of people don't know about it and what it is and what it means. And Candace and I talked about that in part one. But we would like to hear, because we all say it a little bit differently. We explain things a little bit differently. And so we would like to hear, in your words, what biophilic design is, and why do you think it's become such a trend?
I first heard about it, right after I got out of college, in the late 80s. I think it was something that was, I was aware of, and especially working at a healthcare firm. There was this connection to, nature and healing. So for me, I think, at its core, it's the idea that people have an innate affinity for nature, that we are of nature, and that we crave it because we're sort of, living beings that are just a part of it, even though we sort of have created, these constructs of shelter and, places and environments that we're in. We're still living beings that are a part of nature. And I think that sort of sums it up. And that biophilic design then is the idea that we want to design interiors and exteriors in ways that connect us and keep us connected to nature because of all of the sort of positive outcomes of that, right? So you guys probably talked about those things last time in terms of lowering your blood pressure and your heart rate, improving concentration, sort of de-stressing, which we're all, looking to do all the time now. It's like, how can I, be less stressed? So I think it's designing with those things in mind. All of those things are scientifically proven that if you are in, sort of contact and connection with nature, those things actually happen to us, both mentally and physically. So I think it's just sort of, in its simplest terms, is connecting to nature in your design. And then sort of the second part of your question of like, why is it now seeming to be, trending? I think it's kind of two things. I think it's all the technology, right? That so our life is so overrun with technology, and I don't see, I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing. It's just where we are in our civilizations and how we do things. But we're constantly on the phone, we're constantly, looking at the computer, all those kind of things. So I think to offset that and to balance our sort of being out, we crave nature. So I think that's a part of it. And then also the fact that we spend 90% of our time indoors.
Right.
So again, we want that connection. And that's kind of, I think that's sort of the two main reasons why this is happening now.
Yeah. I was really curious, and we had kind of talked about this when we just talked on the phone, is how you see the exterior landscaping design, and how can that benefit you when you're inside, like with your views and your recommendations for plantings and things like that, or even now with us wanting to be outside.